Alright, Seb. This is the podcast.
The first one.
Yeah, the first one. And I think it's just a documentation of our conversations. Because I feel like we have... When I brought this idea up with you, you're saying that we have very entertaining conversations.
Well, at least we think so.
Well, yeah.
We'll find that out now.
We'll see soon.
Yeah, if people catch on to it or not.
Yeah, so that's pretty much just documenting our conversations. Because I feel like we have some really big things to put forward to the world.
Oh, yeah.
So, first on the list...
This is to all the viewers out there.
Yeah.
Millions and millions of fans. This is our season 1, episode 1.
The beginning,
pilot. This is the OG podcast of our podcast.
Yeah.
So we don't even have a name for it yet.
Yeah, so
that's what we're going to be discussing.
So first up on the agenda is the names.
Yeah.
Do you want to kick it off? Because I mean, obviously the first one...
So I got one name. Well, I got a couple, yeah.
Yeah.
But the first name, in no particular order of what I think is going to work. I got the cocktail party.
The cocktail party?
Potty.
Oh, potty. Okay, yeah.
So that's our first name.
Yeah.
So should I just give a few and then...
I think I'll go one for one. So So obviously there's the John and Seb, the 7 John podcast, which you can do. But I feel like, it's great, but I feel like we can get something better out of it.
More original.
Yeah.
So
then I had Our Theory of Everything.
Yeah.
So there's that movie about Stephen Hawking called The Theory of Everything.
Yeah.
And I feel like this would be our theory of everything. So there's that one.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I have big BIQ, big news things or big news stuff. So one of the two.
Yeah. How many more do you have?
I got a couple.
Okay, do you want to just fire them out?
Alright, so cocktail party, big news stuff, 2 bad laxes, the JS experience, which is the John and Seb experience, but Mayday every day.
Yeah.
The rant.
Oh, the rant.
I got the rant. Then I got the theory of whatever we talk about. And then the question of everything.
Okay.
Or everything is questioned. Something like that.
Okay,
so those are my...
So a few spin-offs there.
Yeah, a few spin-offs, but so those are mine. Those are the ones I've come up with so far.
So the best one I could come up with, which is the first one I came up with, and I was just like,
the theory of everything.
No, it's a different one. And I was just after that, I was like, I'll just come up with a few.
Oh, but you told me that, okay, yeah?
So, when we have something big, we put it forward
to the board.
Okay? And the board then decides whether or not it is right or wrong, or it gives you, what you should be doing. So, I thought about calling the podcast the drawing board.
The drawing board, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. This is gonna be tough.
So I dig the rant.
So I'm gonna just put a dot next to my favorites quick. So for me, the cocktail party is a good one. Big news stuff or big news things I enjoy. Probably the rant.
Yeah.
And then I'd say the spin-offs are all kind of equal for me. Everything is questioned as
it's all the same thing.
The question of everything. So the rant, big news things, or cocktail party probably. Mayday every day. I don't know. We don't
talk about Mayday. Mayday was an experience.
What do you mean?
No, Mayday when Mayday. Everything just went to the dogs.
Exactly. It's kind of like this podcast. So those are my favorite. The rant's actually probably my favorite one.
So for me, basically the only one is the drawing board. So would you say it's between the rant?
Well, the cocktail party, for people that don't know, John's surname is Cox.
Yeah.
Mine's Dennison. So, Cockden goes well.
Just makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm leaning more between out of yours, the rant, and so...
So the rant, so it's between the rant and the drawing board.
Yeah, what do you feel?
Honestly, I feel the rant, because that's kind of what we're going to be doing.
We're just ranting.
We're going to start ranting properly.
Yeah.
The drawing board, I feel like only you and me understand it.
Okay. I think like
over the time when we like,
People
okay, I'm going to put
understand.
this forward to the board,
Yeah.
they're going to start catching on,
Okay.
like, they know what the board is. But for me, since you leaning towards the rant over the other ones of mine, then...
So we'll go with the rant.
But that's like, I feel bad if we picked my one.
Wow.
Okay, yeah. We can go to the rant.
Hello and welcome to the rant.
The rant. Oh, wait.
Yeah, so there we go. The name's decided. The rant.
The rant.
The rant.
The rant.
What a name.
Oh, wait.
Alrighties. So we got a name.
We got a name.
Yeah. So now, one thing that I wanted to talk about
Okay.
was I want to put this thing forward, not to the board,
Not to the board.
just out there. Just want to put it out there.
Okay.
It's called VOR.
VOR.
Yeah.
VOR. Okay.
So in football,
Yes.
soccer, there's this thing called VAR.
Yeah.
So basically, is it a goal or not? It's basically like TMO, but for soccer or whatever. So, and it stands for Video Assisted Referee, I think. But
Yeah.
anyway. So now, VOR. VOR is voice of reason.
Okay.
So if you say I come forward with like a problem or a situation,
Yes.
I'm like,
I need some VOR.
yeah,
Okay.
I need to we don't know what to do. Let's
Yes.
send it up to the VOR.
Okay.
So it's like, I'd say like the board is for major decisions. Like you only,
Yeah. No, you don't disgrace the board with petty things.
yeah,
Anything that requires some sort of brain power
yeah,
gets put to the board.
yeah. And I think the VOR is not necessarily self-nominated. Like I mean we can, but I don't think I should come to you and say, look, I need to send this up to the VOR.
No. I need to say to you, John, I'm going to bring some VOR.
Because you are the voice of reason in that situation.
Yes.
Like if the situation's about me, I've got no
say.
common sense about
Yeah.
it. Then you, as the voice of reason, need to waltz up and be like, look, mate, okay,
Exactly.
I'm stepping in as the VOR, we're sending this upstairs. Things are going to change.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a new one.
Add it to the
add
book of sayings.
Book of sayings. We'll get onto that later.
That'll come up in
They'll
future
come
eps.
up in future episodes. Correct.
Okay, Seb, do you have a topic to talk about?
I have a topic. My topic of choice today is, what is an athlete? And is an athlete someone who just plays professional sport? Or can you play professional sport and still not be an athlete? So,
Before we get into this,
yes.
I want to put a disclaimer out
Yes.
for all future episodes, okay, of the podcast. We are very judgmental, not like openly. We don't mind what people do. People must do their own thing.
Yeah, but
we will have our say.
we're not
about it.
afraid to speak our truth on
Yes.
certain things. No.
So, and we're going to talk on some contentious issues. And I feel like this, especially your view, there's some things that people won't necessarily agree with.
No, not
but we want to come out openly and say, look, in advance, we are sorry if we offend anyone.
Basically, we're not here to around.
Sam. Look, that's not where we were going with this. We're not here to offend anyone.
No, we're not.
That's the main
No, that's
thing.
what I was meant to say.
Yeah.
I just got the F's mixed up.
Anyway, carry on about your athletes.
So now, this is the question I want to ask you. Now, I was watching golf, and Phil was playing. All right.
Phil Mickelson.
Phil Mickelson was playing in the PGA major, and the commentator decided to open his mouth and say, Phil Mickelson, what an athlete. Now, this is where the debate starts. Does an athlete... Can you just call yourself an athlete purely because you are playing professional sport? Because in my opinion, Phil, yes, he's 50 years old. Yes, he's an extremely skillful player. To me, he's not an athlete.
Okay.
Because I feel an athlete needs to be in its your physical form as your human body has to be in not like like peak condition.
Yeah.
But like
Up there.
you got to be up there.
Got to be up in the tops.
You have to
in the
be.
top 20%.
You have to be. Yeah. It has to be where, and it's not even Phil. Then any player, any sportsman that is not overweight, because I don't think Phil's necessarily overweight. He's 50 years old.
Yeah.
And this is where I apologize now to the next name I'm going to mention. But like a guy like Patrick Reed, okay? I'm not saying he's fat or anything like that. I'm just saying his body isn't in like top condition.
Yeah.
Rory's is, I'd say. Rory's in shape.
So Rory's an athlete.
For me, Rory would be... But then again, can you call Rory an athlete?
Why couldn't you? I think it all depends on your definition of an athlete. Because when we looked this up, an athlete was someone who's proficient in sports. And physical
and other physical exercises.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd say Rory's an athlete. I'd say Tiger Woods is an athlete back when he was well, even recently, like he's in shape.
But this is where I brought up
Reed's not an athlete.
Tyson Fury. For those of you who don't know, Tyson Fury is a boxer, and he is not the most slim oak on the block.
He's not. He's got like this whole section of he like stores all his weight around here.
Yeah,
but he's an incredibly good boxer.
And you have to be so fit to box.
And the fact that at his weight to go 12 rounds.
Yeah.
And box.
Yeah.
I mean, he has to have incredible cardio and.
So is he an athlete?
But that's the thing. That's the difficult thing because I feel.
I'd say he's an athlete. I'd say Patrick Reed is an athlete. I'd say Phil Mickelson's
this is what you. This is where we disagree because for me, being an athlete and being a professional sportsman are two separate things. You can combine the two, but that for me that takes discipline. So, for me, Patrick Reed is a professional golfer, and he's an incredibly skilled professional golfer, but he's not an athlete.
Okay.
He could be both if he really wanted to be, but he's not because he doesn't want to be an athlete. He wants to be a golfer.
So you say the fact that the definition of athlete encompasses professional sportsman, that you're saying that shouldn't be a thing?
No.
Because that's saying that all professional sportsmen are athletes.
Which is not, that's exactly what I'm saying at this day.
But not all athletes are professional sportsmen.
So not all athletes.
Because when you say you and me, would you say we're athletes?
I think so, because we're in good shape. So for me, it's a physical form decides whether you are an athlete or not. So right now, we're not professional sportsmen.
Yeah.
I will be one day.
Gosh.
It's going to happen.
Okay, let me put something forward to you again. I think it's widely known that many Africans have naturally good genes. They're just well built. Okay.
Yeah.
So take a Zulu chap, right?
Yeah.
Let's say he's got zero ball skills. Okay.
Yeah.
Zero. He doesn't run. He's no athleticism whatsoever, but purely based on his genes. And
he was just born with a chest.
Now let's just say he's just born
he was born built.
Yeah, he's just born built.
He's just natural.
But he doesn't run. He doesn't do anything. Would he be an athlete? Because there for you, he's on the
Then his body
shape
is
side of it.
Yeah, and this is where the debate comes in. Even it's not like I'm even confusing myself, but it's the more you dive into it, the more tricky it becomes.
So would you call him an athlete?
If I just saw him walking down the street, I'd be like, yeah.
Even though he does
then you could just say he's athletic. Then you could just say he's athletic.
But he's not athletic. He can't jump. He can't run.
But he would be able to. Your body can't be in shape and not be able to do stuff.
Fair. But
so if I saw him walking down the street and he was built and he was in shape, I'd say he's athletic. So, but back to the main thing for me is not all professional sportsmen are athletes. Just because you play professional golf or professional cricket or rugby doesn't make you an athlete. There have been many South African cricketers, names I will not mention, because I do not want to get stoned to death. Alright. Where I've looked at them, I'm they don't seem in shape. They don't seem like they would get past level 12 on the beep test.
But in order to be a professional, in order to play for the Proteas, you have to go through fitness tests.
Yeah, you have to go to fitness test, but I think that's all just bullshit. I don't think that definitely some players in the SA side in previous years that I don't think could have got past certain levels.
But how? Because if you take Oak like we were talking earlier, like Tyson Fury, he is so fit, but he doesn't look fit.
He doesn't look fit at all.
So how do you not know that those certain players how do you not know that those certain players are like that, where they just look at, no matter how, because there's some people, no matter how much you train, no matter how much cardio you do, there will always be a certain amount of bigness on you. So how do you know that like those oaks just, aren't in that sort of category?
Well, see, I don't. So again, I could be wrong. This is just my opinion, but yeah, the thing that sparked this all for me is when the guy was like, Phil Mickelson, what an athlete. And I was like, no, what a golfer. What a golfer. Not what an athlete.
But he is athletic.
No, Okay, look at this. He's not. He is. Look, just because he walks around the course for 4 days and he can swing the club the exact same way every time and has a wizardry short game and whatever, that doesn't mean he's an athlete.
I don't think you'd be able to do that for 4 days.
Really, do you think I could walk on a golf course and have a caddy carry my bag and I walk and play 4 rounds of golf in a row? We literally did it.
On golf course, look how tired you were. And we were taking carts.
I actually played 6 rounds of golf in a row just to...
Well, not in a row, but...
Put it up. It wasn't a row.
No, we skipped. We had that break day in Goose.
And I played Goose.
No, the break day before that. The day I popped my finger.
Was there a break day?
Yeah. Anyway, what I'm saying is...
Well, I'm not getting paid to do it. Okay.
Yeah. I just think you are too harsh on people, on athletes, like body and stuff, because of your definition of an athlete.
I guess just for me, but the thing is, my main debate or my main point is, just because you're a professional sportsman doesn't make you an athlete. That's my thing.
Just because you're
which actually makes sense if you think about it.
Just because you're a professional
sportsman, just because you play sport for a living, doesn't mean you're an athlete. And it should be like that, though. It should be, if you're playing, for me, and that's probably why I'm so harsh on it, is because if you're playing sport for a living, if that's your job, you be in peak condition. That's the least you could do.
But if they've made it that far...
But I think you can go even further if your body's in shape. Do you think Rory would be as good as he is if he had more weight on him? I don't think so.
I don't think it would.
Do you think Reed could be better if he was in shape? I think so. I don't think having extra weight on you makes it. And this is only golf we're talking about.
I think golf is a bit tricky.
But golf is more of a skill-based sport.
Look at John Daly, okay? For those of you who don't know, John Daly was quite...
John Daly, tell the millions of fans, is he an athlete?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. He doesn't drink water. He drinks Diet Coke.
Just beers.
And beers.
I saw a picture on the PJ on the seniors tour. Well, it wasn't the seniors tour anyway. It's just some event, and he's driving this golf cart, and like on the driver's side is obviously where he sits. On the passenger side is like a crate of beer. It's just beers, and all he does is smoke, drink beer. He's gonna kick the bucket eventually. He's probably accepted it. I can't believe he's still here. To be honest with you. That ticket must be flying. Yeah. But I want to say back to the golf story is that I don't, especially for golf. I think
golf's a tricky one.
For other sports, it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Because you can have like John Daly, major champion, and he has to kind of turn sideways to get through the door, kind of.
But yeah. Golf, I think golf might almost be not the wrong sport, because I feel any sport. No, but I feel any sport you play as a professional, you should be in peak condition. There are just some sports that don't require that to maybe be the best. Like, have you ever seen a chubby professional tennis player? No, you will never see that.
But you also wouldn't see a chubby runner because
You will exactly, because some sports won't allow you to get to the top level without your body being in prime condition.
No, I agree with that. Yeah.
If you even in UFC, so UFC their weight classes and all that. Like, so I'm just going to use the most well-known guy. So Conor McGregor, okay, he will never be able to make 155 pounds if he is not in absolutely peak condition.
How much does he weigh?
No, walking around, he would walk around at 190 pounds, which is maybe like 80 something kgs.
Okay.
And he'll cut down. He'll cut all the water out to stay on the scale the night before the fight and weigh 70 kgs.
Only 10 kgs.
It's a lot. You see those pictures? I remember those pictures.
Yeah. He didn't look.
Yeah. So the only reason he can do that is because he's in peak condition. If he wasn't in peak condition, he wouldn't make the weight.
So do you think that?
But heavyweights. But heavyweights. So the heavyweights that weigh in at 265 pounds, a lot of them are overweight, and a lot of them are just like chubby and not athletes because they're not required to cut the weight because they walk around at, let's just say, 220 pounds, but the weight limit's 265, so there's no need for them to get into any prime shape.
But then, does it not at the end boil down to how you are, like when you're born, right?
Yeah.
Like you are just naturally big boned, you're just a big chap. You will never get to 70 kgs.
No.
Okay.
It's impossible.
Yeah, it's just not gonna happen.
No.
You could get to 110 if you let yourself go.
Yeah.
Okay, that could happen.
That could happen too.
So, but what I'm trying to say is, I think people are just naturally within certain categories of weight, body shape, and athleticism. Okay, and I mean, golf doesn't really matter what you weigh, how athletic you are.
Yeah.
You can do whatever.
No, exactly.
But other sports, like you were saying, you do.
Yeah,
it doesn't allow you. But what I was trying to say is, like, especially with golf, because it's so, like free.
Yeah.
Like, how do I say? Like, it doesn't matter what you weigh, as I was saying before. Like, people are just in different categories of what they can do with their body. Some people can do stuff with their body. So I feel like it is a bit harsh to say to someone he's not an athlete because some people just can't get to your version of an athlete.
See, I disagree.
Saying everyone can drop down.
Oh no, not drop down. What, drop down to like what? Like
no, I'm not saying drop down to like 50 kgs. I'm saying I think like based on your definition, it sounds like they slimmed out, but for their body they slimmed out.
Like, I feel Patrick Reed could get to like how Rory is.
Nah.
He could eat better. The reason Patrick Reed is the way he is, apart from the fact that he's a brilliant golfer, is I don't think he does a lot of exercise, and I don't think he eats the cleanest because he wouldn't be overweight.
He's not overweight.
Well, he's overweight. Yeah, he's not overweight at all. But
he's in his body category.
No, he's not in his body category. He's not in his body category.
I feel like
any person in the world can be in shape. Any person in the world can be in the range of even 10 to 15% body fat.
Okay, I'm not exactly sure what that means.
Okay, but how you are, you probably are like 10% body fat. So,
I would say I'm pretty thin though. So
10%, but that's muscular. Body fat is just like...
I got zero. I feel like I got zero fat on me.
Yeah,
that's because
10%.
I'm sticks.
Yeah.
10%? This still feels like quite a lot though.
It's not that much.
Oh yeah, anyway, Karen.
And then 15%. Like, Patrick Reed could easily, like, get into good shape. Not even like... I'm not talking about Usain Bolt shape or, like, Wade Funnycack shape or... You know what I mean? But, like Rafa Nadal. He's an athlete. Djokovic is an athlete. Federer is an athlete.
I just feel
all these people are... Even Serena. Serena's an athlete. Like...
But Serena's quite big.
But she's naturally big like that.
So she's naturally...
But she's not like... She's not... Look at Serena's body.
Yeah.
And look at Reed. Okay.
I know they're different.
Okay. Like... Serena has like... Big quads. and glutes. Like, she's just genetically, her muscles are just bigger.
Yeah.
You know, like Reed could easily like get himself into like better shape. I feel like, but that's the thing. I get irritated as sportsmen when they're not in shape because they should be.
But I feel like that's
They
the thing.
really
Like,
should be
the
in
world
shape.
expects people to be in shape.
But sport requires you to be in shape.
Not
That's my
necessarily.
thing. Well, obviously not. But I think it should be. I think it's a bad advert for kids, and it's true. I think. Even there's that West Indies player. What's his
Isn't
name?
it Darren Hope or something like that?
He's huge.
Yeah.
He's massive.
Yeah.
And like I see him playing Test cricket, which is the pinnacle of. It's like that's my dream. That's like millions of cricketers' dreams. And he's there, and he's made it. So well done to him.
Yeah.
But he is massive. He's big, and I'm like that's just not. For me, it should be if you are a professional sportsman, you should be in as good condition as you can possibly get yourself to. Maybe Patrick Reed. And it feels like I'm latching onto this oak now. But maybe he is trying. But maybe he's just not trying nearly as hard as what Rory's doing or DJ.
No, but Rory doesn't need to try. Rory's just his body category and Reed's
Rory
body category
has
are
a gym.
different. They're different body categories.
Rory has a gym at his house. Do you think Reed has a gym at his house?
Yes.
Well, he doesn't bloody get used. Okay.
I feel like you're just going in circles here.
Just because you put a weight in a room doesn't make it a gym, all right? And that's where I think Reed's got it wrong.
Alright. Anyway.
That's my main thing is, back to the point at hand.
Yeah.
Just because not all professional sportsmen are athletes.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Not all
professional sportsmen, or just because you're a professional sportsman doesn't mean you're an athlete.
I can agree with that.
And that's the
that's the topic.
probably gonna get stoned in my sleep from the
Yeah, well, we'll see.
3 or 4 fans that he has. But,
The millions.
the millions and millions of fans.
Now, to end it off, the other day.
We can come back to it.
Yeah.
We're just gonna probably watch the Grand Prix and we'll slide back.
Anyway, the other day, I was at home and whipping myself up some eggs. Okay, and we have this little pan. It's like perfect for egg size, but the best thing about it is that it's non-stick.
Oh, we're talking about non-stick pans now.
Yeah. Okay. Non-stick pans are just so much better than
normal pans.
Like you literally, I mean, if you want to add a little bit of butter or whatever,
It is a game changer.
you literally just put it in, and then it's also so easy to clean. You just, whatever you've cooked, you just empty it out, and then you just literally rinse it and you can wipe it up, and then it's like done. So that got me thinking, okay, what are the unappreciated inventions, like the non-stick frying pan, like things that are like, they just make life
just take for
so
granted.
much better, but everyone's just like, yeah, they just take it for granted. One thing I thought,
There's a lot of
okay,
it's
it's not really unappreciated inventions, more just the fact that I can't get my head around it.
Yeah.
Also, Bluetooth.
that was my one.
Okay,
I was
because
literally
you've spoken
saying
about it
Bluetooth.
before in your car.
Yeah,
Literally,
Bluetooth is ridiculous if you think
you've
about
got a
it.
speaker here and a phone here,
And somehow
there's this
the song gets sent
moving through the air.
mid-air into the speaker, and the speaker plays it. It is.
And it say no chords, like no hassles.
Yeah,
nothing.
no aux are required now. It's not like it's getting tangled.
Yeah, it's just Bluetooth headphones or earphones are so much better.
Even gym. Like I started using when I go to gym, I used to use the normal cord one.
Yeah, I do
because
that.
I used to do I think the big ones were kind of
the headphones.
the headphones are
People
uncomfortable
who
to use.
exercise with headphones, what are you doing?
I exercise with headphones.
No. What are you doing?
No. It actually, and then I started using headphones because I was like, okay, well, when you're gymming and the cord, like, okay, I put it into the shirt,
But still,
the phone's in your pocket, and like when you're lifting weights and you hit your phone, and sometimes I go on the ergo and it'll fall out and then I'm busy going, and then the things get pulled out.
That is the worst. Floor. When something like catches on the cord and rips out your ear.
So I was like, no, to hell with this. I'm gonna just use my headphones. So I went and bought a pair of 400 Rand Volcanoes, which do the job. They do the job, but and it's so much better. And I was like, Bluetooth, so much. It's just so convenient.
It is. It's so much more convenient.
I put my phone in my backpack now when I go to the gym.
Yeah.
And I just headphones on, and it's just
there.
And I'm like, it's just getting played up through the.
Anyway,
what's another one?
This is one that I think people don't use enough. It's the toaster sandwich machine.
Ah, the toasting machine.
Okay.
Got ours over there.
If this should be a law. If you have the opportunity to toast a sandwich,
yes,
do it.
Oh yeah.
Toasted sandwiches are so 100%. Much better.
They are so much
normal
better than normal soft bread.
Somehow, and it's not like it becomes more unhealthy. The same stuff is in there.
Oh no, it's so much better.
It just tastes better.
The cheese,
crunch,
and when you pull it out, and the cheese just keeps on going, and it's just better.
It's actually like the 11th commandment. If thou hast a toasted sandwich machine, thou shalt use it.
Yeah, literally. It's getting put into the Bible right now.
Next edition.
Yeah.
What else? Those are the three that I just wanted to.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of.
I had a minor thought about electric gates.
Yeah, electric gates are good. Or remotes. Yeah, because a remote's the same sort of thing as a Bluetooth, but it's like different. I mean, now it's a signal.
But I mean, it's just like it's not as a big deal.
It's not, because it's not as.
No one actually cares. Scrap it on the list. Like,
actually, no one cares. No one cares. John, I got something for you.
Oh, you ever see that?
An electric gate. No one gives a shit.
No one cares.
It's not fun to talk about.
Yeah.
I was going to start going into the remotes. I was like, actually, I'm glad you said that.
Let's just reel it in a bit,
yeah.
But
yeah, I know.
I think that's it.
I think that's it for the first episode, eh?
First step of the rant.
Yeah,
rant
first episode of the rant. So yeah.
Thanks for tuning in for
J
the rant.
and S signing out. Season 1. Episode 1 of the rant.
Nice. That was actually a lot of fun. Yeah.